All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into Locker Room Sports Talk Extra. I'm your host here, Big Matt. We thank you for coming by and hanging out with me here on a special selection show night from college football. I'm going to be dropping in on the top 25. We're going to have the Birds on. We're going to talk about them dogs. They're going to play a little bit of Ole Miss Rebels. And we're going to talk about Alabama. And I think they're going to make a little trip down to LSU. I'm fired up about it. I don't know about you. What a great night it is. What a beautiful day we've had that the Lord's give us, and I'm very thankful for that. Had a good day today. Got a lot of stuff done. Got some work done, and been thinking about this all day, Bama's going to have a very tough task at hand trying to go to LSU at night. It's always a hard game. And I'll just start out with them. Hey, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. I appreciate it. If you're watching on Facebook, hit the thumbs up on there, let the little smiley faces or whatever, the hearts and all that stuff. Well, I would very much appreciate it. Keep us relevant. We've been going over 1,000 views on every show, I don't know, for the past while, and it's all thanks to you guys that spend a little part of your weekdays and Sundays with us. So I just want to bring you some good content, and we're going to talk about a few stats and those kind of things. And basically, just talk about ball. You're just one of us, and we're all the same here. And I'm just having a conversation with you guys. You're the fans, and all this happens because of you. And I am appreciative for that. So Alabama's going to make the trip to LSU, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. 6:30 game. Could be some rain. I think I've seen there's a 50-50 shot of rain. As long as the wind is not crazy, I don't think it'll wear too much in the game. I don't think it'll be too big of a deal. Burge is going to jump on here in a minute. He's just getting home, kind of like me. I ain't been in long. Went to vote and showered and grabbed a taco and rushed in here to talk to you guys. So the rain could be some variance to some of that. And I don't think really probably not, but the wind could. I really think the wind could very possibly be a big part of that. Bama's favored by 3 right now. Let me make sure. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Sure, Bama's favored by 3.5 in this game. It's just very strange to me. Very, very strange to me. I guess it's because of the A&M game. They lost and then had their bye week. Let's see. Roll on down here. Mississippi State at Tennessee. I think Mississippi State has. I know what y'all are saying. They're the worst team in the conference. Them and Auburn is terrible. I know. But I think Coach Levy's he's a good coach, man. I'm not, he's tried to hit the portal and do the right things and get his team fixed. Yeah, okay. They got them spread -3, open at -2.5. This game is very close to being a pick 'em. Matchup predictor has 70% Bama. I don't like that. I just don't. Right now, as it sits, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. LSU is 5, and Bama is 8. LSU is 3-1, 6-2 overall. Bama's, of course, we know they're 6-2 overall, so Bama's 3-2. Bama's trying to make LSU 3-2, so they won't be relevant for college football. Yeah, the wind might supposed to throw toward receiver. Yeah, I hope you're right, Landon. He said maybe the wind will blow a ball to the receiver for us. Or probably just the way things are going, it'll probably blow a ball to the defender to LSU so they can pick it off. Thoughts on the game? Just spend a few minutes talking about it. Burge is going to come in. When he jumps here, we'll talk about some Ole Miss and Georgia. And then the selection show ought to be on here in a little while. We may jump off, come back on, or whatever. We may just hang out and talk during that time. Y'all hang out with us. Take a break from politics, put your feet up, take shoes off, part your hair down the middle, get your big old glass of lemonade, put some extra ice in it, pour some tea in that lemonade, guys. Just relax, okay? We're not going to have to see any more ads, no more. It's just so mentally exhausting. It just is. So let's just talk about football. This is not, we ain't doing politics. You can watch that on 500 other stations. You can just type it in and go watch that. Right here, we're going to talk about college football. In Alabama, I think they have a chance. I think that athletically they match up very well. I think I've heard that Zay Mincy is going to be moved. They're going to move him around, and they're looking for him to probably to play a safety spot, probably to help Kai back there. So if you see him back there, we talked about that Sunday. I brought that up. I heard that from one of their sports guys, Stephen M. Smith. I heard them talking about that after interviewing the coaches. Let me tell you something. I think Jalen is a difference maker. I don't think any fan of any team except Auburn fans, some Auburn fans, Steve from Stevenson, usually him especially, most people, would admit that he's a playmaker. And Jalen can make things happen, and he can on his feet, and he can rumble and stumble around and keep them in games. Now, I think the key is going to be how they use him and how they're going to try to run they're kind of read. They'd run a little option stuff with him. They bring Kendrick Law across in motion, that kind of stuff, fake pitches to him or give to him. I've seen them bring Ryan Williams. I've seen them bring Hollywood across. I've seen them bring him across and, run some stuff with him. LSU didn't handle it well against A&M. Now, I don't think if you're smart and you follow this game pretty closely, if you're watching this, you're probably a pretty avid football enthusiast, not just a fan of one team and you don't know much about any other team. There are some fans like that out there, and they talk a lot of stuff, and you ask them why they picked this game, and they just, I don't know, just did. That's just not how you. So, I think that they can make LSU over pursue in plays. I think that if Alabama watches A&M and go back and watch the film, and I did. I watched some highlights again, and on read option plays, I heard some guys talking about this, and they broke it down beautifully, exactly how you would break it down and talk about it, how the end, when you have this guard pulling in, and he crashes the end, and then, the other guy is going to move up to the next level, to block linebackers and stuff. Well, the way A&M played it, they were pulling the ball and then fitting on the back side of where your guy's pulling from off the line. And when the linebacker is scraping across the play, they're just shooting it in behind where the linebacker was. So it's not a real conventional type RPO style that coach at Texas A&M ran. It was very – I've seen Auburn run it that way. When Gus was there, I know for sure. I hadn't watched them. They block it pretty conventional. The ones that I've seen when I went back and watched Auburn highlights, they blocked it pretty conventional. And they've missed blocks. And that's what I got on them this Sunday about missing the receivers not blocking when you got a pitch guy. So I like if Bama can take some notes from A&M, from Coach Elko and his offensive coach. But LSU's defense is not bad. So I think Bama can score. I think it's probably going to take about 30 to win the game. 30, 32, 30 points, 31, 4 touchdowns, field goal, maybe 4 touchdowns, 2 field goals. I don't think this is going to be a lower scoring game. I don't. Now, let's flip that around. Now, let's talk about LSU offense and Bama defense. I mentioned earlier about Zay pulling off there. Oh, sorry, Birds. My apologies, sir. Come on in here and take your shoes off. Let your hair down. I was talking about Alabama. Birds, I'm going to flip it on this one, and I want your input on this. I'm going to talk now about LSU's offense and Bama defense, how that kind of matches. First of all, I mentioned earlier that they have moved Mincy around for safety for Bama, so you're going to see some new guys, same guys, different places. Because they've got two guys out, one out for the season, and Sab, I don't know when he's going to be back. So Bama's going to have about 4 freshmen at one time playing back there at D-back. So, and that may cost them the game. Here's why. I think early in the year, and I think Burge agreed with us on this back during the summer. I'm a Nussmeier fan. I think he's good. I don't think he's getting he's not getting complimented at all because he don't have a tailback. And I think him and Beck compare a lot because I think they both throw the ball very well. But ETN and Frazier was supposed to complement Beck, and sometimes it just has not this year, and it puts them in a bad spot. And I think their defenses have held them on in these games. I think Tennessee and Georgia compare in a lot of ways. But we're talking about LSU, and I think Nussmeier is good. I think he can score the ball. I think that receiver, ain't it Lacey? Ain't that their guy?
I think so.
Bro, he is freaking good. They always have some guy, Birds, don't they? I mean, ain't they always got some guy?
There's always a stud at receiver. Normally more than one, but at least one.
I think Bama's going to have a hard time trying to cover all these receivers, but the problem is the reason I lean Bama, and I can see, I guess, why the Joey the Fish does. I just think it's LSU's run game. They just hadn't run for a lot of yards. Their leading tailback is the Durham kid, and he's rushed for 400 yards. And Miller's not much better. He's only rushed for 460. So, I mean, and Milrow he's rushed for about 300, 400. He's right there close to your leading tailback. So, yeah, Lacey's got over 600 yards receiving, 41 catches, 6 touchdowns. And Ryan Williams has 7 touchdowns with 700 yards on 35 receptions. But look at Nussmeier, dude, 20 touchdowns with 9 picks, and he had 3 of them right against A&M. So he come into that game with pretty close to about Milrow. Milrow's 13 touchdowns, 6 picks. Nuss stowed for 2,700, and Jalen stowed for 19. But Milrow's run for more yards, and that's fair because that's just that's more his bread and butter. I'll tell you this, and I know this sounds cliche, and Bird is going to go, well, Matt, yeah, I know, that's stupid. Why would you say that? And that's what he's thinking. Whoever can run the ball, Benton, that's who's going to win this game. I'm just saying. I think that is going to – but that could be the answer to a lot of games this weekend.
I feel like – I don't know about you, but I feel like teams are choosing not to run the ball a lot.
I agree.
It doesn't make sense to me. Where did that go? Where did the run the ball, play action, hit your wide open receivers go? I don't know if we feel like that the defensive lines are so good that you can't get movement, you can't run it well. I don't know. It's just especially when it comes to Georgia, I feel like they hadn't run the ball enough. Maybe even Alabama too. I mean, a lot of these big teams, they come out and on first down, they throw the ball.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand. Now, I'll tell you why I think, but my opinion is about probably as worthless as anybody else's. I think that there's a high possibility of this, and I don't know it to be true again. I'm going to try not to be long-winded about it, but we do got a while, so I probably could go – I'll go half-winded, not too long-winded. To boil it down, I guess, more simply, NFL is going to have to do with this. Let's just look in the league and look at some of the quarterbacks, okay? They're okay. We had quarterbacks that come out last year. Jaden Daniels is having a good year, but then you get over there to, AR5 up at the Colts, just absolutely terrible. I mean, he's 11 for, 30 or something just stupendously asinine.
He just got replaced by a 40-year-old backup.
Yeah, a permanent. I think he's like on a permanent diabetic. I think he has to wear one of those things on his arm. I mean, but I think it's because that I'm making that reasoning for this to say that college right now, I think that Bobo and I think Nick Sheridan, I'm picking on Bama and Georgia. I think they're trying to, it's got to be that. They're trying to make these quarterback stats so good to make them look good for the draft. What else could it be? What else is there, Burge? I mean, what? Give me another. I'm just thinking. I'll think of all kind of crazy stuff. You'd stop me, but I mean, help me out.
In my mind, if you run the ball more, your efficiency should go up because on play action, you're going to see more open receivers. I mean, you should because you're going to bring up linebackers. You're going to be able to, not throw as many interceptions. And and to me, I would rather see. I'm not an NFL scout, but I would rather see a higher efficiency rating than I would 4,000 yards passing. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and also what goes along with that 4,000 passing is you jump from like I would probably say an average of a year. If a quarterback throws 10 or less picks, I think that's good. I think 10 or more is probably 10 or 12 is probably that's a borderline for me. So what I'm saying is, yeah, he's going to throw for 4,000 yards, but he's got, 18 picks because they throw the ball a lot.
Yeah.
And I know why their scores have been, tighter and crazier because the clock keeps stopping because they're throwing the ball so much, the clock stops. When you run the ball, the clock stays running because you're in bounds and the clock keeps running. So I think, lastly, with Alabama and LSU, I think that's going to fit into what Nuss is going to do. I think he's electric with the ball. If he gets hot late in the fourth quarter somewhere, and this is a close game, which I kind of think it's going to be a touchdown game, maybe either way, and he gets the ball late in the game, I just don't see him having a terribly hard problem of going down the field to score. I just don't. I think he's good. I think he has the best release. He has some of the best footwork. How he throws his hips into the ball and his when quarterbacks move and how they set their feet up on the move, like to scramble out, roll, stop, plant their feet and throw. He's one of the better ones at doing it. Beck is terrible at doing it. Milroe is not good at doing it. Those two are usually supposed to be in the higher average offenses, Alabama and Georgia, and neither one of their quarterbacks are good at shuffling their feet out and setting their feet and throwing it. They went up overthrowing it. That's because they don't get their front foot set, and it makes their hands up too high, and they're throwing the ball over them. And I ain't trying to be some quarterback. I'm not a quarterback coach. I've seen one on TV. I've been around some. I'm just saying what I see. And I think LSU has a fantastic shot at winning this game. We picked in the summer LSU to beat Alabama, but if LSU's not going to be able to run the ball, that's going to put so much pressure on him. And if Overton and Jahad Campbell and Lawson and those guys up front there, that front three, start pinning their ears back and get after him, that's what's going to cause LSU a lot of trouble. Because if Milroe, listen, if he's on this, he's been on this trajectory. He's just kind of bumpy, man. He's just kind of hanging out. He'll have a good, like quarter or two. Then he'll just kind of fall off. Then he'll have, a good few drives, and then he's off again. I don't think that can work because I think Nuss is a better quarterback. And you're talking about being loud. At Tennessee, they had a lot of trouble. That probably was a part of them not winning the game, besides about 5 calls from the refs that were absolute money pocket stuffers for Tennessee refs. About 5 of them was just absolutely crap. Bama got hosed on about 5 calls. The other 10, they absolutely earned every stinking one of them. But I think it's caused trouble. So Nuss can get it done. If they can't run the ball, I like their linebackers. What's that guy's name? Is he a Meeks, I think? Or is it Weeks? Weeks or Meeks, one of their leading tacklers on the team. I think he can get after them.
Yeah, I know you're talking about Weeks.
Weeks, yeah. He's a good football player, and I look for them to – I mean, why couldn't they have a good game? Let's see what he did here Let's see, one of the better offenses they played against was probably LSU. Played Ole Miss. They beat them by 3 here. And I'm trying to get the, see, box score. Yes, LSU. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. How many's he got on the year? 38. he's got right at 40 tackles already, and forced fumbles, and I think he's had a tip interception. Greg Penn, Swenson, and the Burns guy, number 8, he's good too. Zay Alexander is a guy that's played good for them this year. He's a senior out of Louisiana down there. Zay Alexander, keep your eyes open for him, number 14, who plays corner. He could be somebody that causes Milrow problems. Now if we see the Milrow that we saw in the Georgia game after the bye week, like he got a week to study, well, crap, man. Shoot, LSU better get their britches ready because he's going to come in with it's going to be Hurricane Milrow when he comes in and they dump 30 points on him quick. So I don't know. If Jam and if Jam can get going, I think they have a good shot at winning the game. But it's just going to kind of be, I think, who's able to run the ball more. I just think that's just kind of. I know it sounds dumb and like, well, if you don't, the team that has the least penalties will probably be the least penalized. Yeah, no crap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of being one of those stupid conundrums. That's just what I'm thinking about it. Let's see here. Missouri, Bama. Let's see which one had team box Bama. Yeah, here's Richard Young is a guy that they Bama's run the ball with some too. I think he's plenty good enough. But Haynes and Jam, the Justice and Jam, they're the guys, and I think it's going to rely on them a lot to be able to carry the load. They won't, they rushed for nearly 300 yards against Missouri, but LSU's not Missouri. Actually, LSU has Missouri's defensive coach. Do you know that?
Yeah, actually, they took a few guys, I think, from there. I'm looking. Yeah. I was just curious at the weather, and it looks like there could be some rain and thunderstorms coming through there.
Yeah, 50-50 is what I heard on another podcast later. As long as the wind don't blow a lot, it shouldn't matter too much. But and if it's just rain, like rain, and we've all played in the rain, and we've recorded games in the rain, and those just kind of rain is okay. But if it gets to daggum, just coming up sheets. If the ball's getting wet from the snap to the quarterback, like it's raining so hard, that's hard. It is hard. And I think the advantage would go to Nussmeier because I just think he's a better thrower of the ball than Jalen. Am I wrong in saying that?
I don't think you're wrong. No, I think Jalen may throw a better deep ball.
Well, yeah, but yes, but I think a lot of these this generation, I think a lot of them throw good deep balls. I think they practice it a lot from the time they're young.
Yeah, just selling it out there as far as they can.
Yeah, and Jalen's strong. Nobody doubts his strength or speed. He's usually the best athlete on the field most of the time when they're playing about anybody. I just think between Justice and Jam, be able to run the ball, and Richard Young too, so they got guys that can run it. I think they need to bring these speed sweeps, what I was saying earlier, pitching the ball up front to Kendrick Law. I like those plays. I like bringing Ryan Williams. You know how Sark is the main one that does this. He brings the receiver in motion, and when he gets close to the tailback, he turns and goes back out the way he come.
Yep.
I love that play. It
return around or something.
Well, in man coverage, it just makes a mess because he's trying to cover him, and you get a guy sold out running across the line, and then when he gets to the end there, he turns and comes back. Well, by the time the defender can turn his hips and get back across, and if you got a guy like Ryan Williams, or they used to do that to like, I think he used to do it like Judy or somebody, and he was so fast, or Devontae Smith. When he turned and set his feet back other way, if you didn't get back over there, he's gone. I need to see those kind of plays. Those are the kind of plays, because I think LSU's good in the middle. I think they had a guy hurt. They had a guy out a few weeks ago when they played somebody. And I don't remember if he's back or.
Another big thing for both of these teams, I mean, it's kind of back against the wall right here. I mean, you take your third loss in the SEC, and you're done. Yep.
DONE with a big old fat D. Done. DUN, birds. That's how they say it over in Lyerly.
Yeah.
Done. It's done. DUN. They're not gonna. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Thank you for coming and playing. We'll see you guys next year. Good luck on the last, I guess, 2 games. LSU will play Arkansas and I don't know, Mississippi State or something. I think Bama holds the edge because of those 3 guys. I have a lot of faith in them, between Jam and Justice and even Young. I like getting him the ball too.
If Bama doesn't turn the ball over, I take Bama in the game in a close.
If they don't turn it over. Yeah, I agree with that. All right, that's enough about Alabama. I'm going to take Bama. I'll take 31-28, something in those lines. I think Bama will cover. And they're favored by – it showed minus 2.5, and then the open line was minus 3. So I think they'll cover. And it'll be a good opportunity for DeBoer to really get to be in you're talking about a hostile environment. Tennessee's bad, but they're not as drunk. They're just ignorant. They're just like a bunch of garbage men, wearing their orange vest out there. It's a hunting exhibition. LSU fans are goofy, ignorant, and drunk. Like Georgia fans, they're just drunk. Just straight up drunk.
Yeah.
LSU is the combination of Georgia and Tennessee fans. They're drunk and ignorant and crazy. Now, the other game, I guess, let me ask you about this one first, and then we'll get to the other big one. South Carolina, Vanderbilt. Is there any way Vandy rolls up the old Gamecocks and they get them some smoked chicken up in Nashville Saturday?
I mean, I'm not going to say there's not. I mean, man, it's weird watching South Carolina because you don't know who you're going to get. I think they're very – both teams are capable of winning the game.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt just doesn't flash at you, but they control the ball. They play pretty good defense. And, you look up toward the end of the game and they're right there. And I think South Carolina has got a whole lot going for them, but heck, so does Vanderbilt. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I was alive the last time they beat Alabama and Auburn in the same season. I don't remember when that was.
My mama wasn't alive.
There you go.
She's not now, but she was. She wasn't. It was 1950.
Jeez. I knew it been a long time. But yeah, I don't really know who I'd even go with on that game. I would have to do some bigger and deeper digging. What time does that start?
So I think it's middle of the day game. I was looking here at South Carolina. The Bama and South Carolina game was a good game. They matched up well with each other. Rocket Sanders had 78 yards against Bama, and a quarterback wound up scrambling around for about 20. But their receivers all had good days. I mean, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 receivers against Alabama, South Carolina that went for 20 or 5 or up to 60 yards. See what I'm saying? That's saying something. 7 guys that had at least 3 receptions or more. So 7 threes is 21. So that tells you how many times. Well, he threw the ball 31 times. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think Vandy's defense has got nothing for that old boy, old Sellers. I just don't. And I keep bragging on this Kennard guy, and the number 3 plays on the other end. Those 2 defensive ends, 5 and 3. It's like Lumpkin or something. I got it wrote down over here somewhere. They're good, man. Those ends give Bama a fit, and that's why I picked them to beat A&M, because A&M's going to try to come in there and run the football with a quarterback, and it just didn't work out. It's matchups. It's like, I say this all the time. I know it sounds stupid. People probably tired of me saying it, but it's like boxing. Football's a lot like boxing. You can look at a team on stats. You can look at their numbers and say, well, this team is thrown for, so many yards, and you can say this team's rushed for so many. And, well, statistically speaking, Matt, this team stops the run, and this team gives up, more yards and blah, blah, blah. But how they match up, you watching the game. When you watch the game, how they match up. I don't think Vandy's going to have nothing for them. I think South Carolina's. I think they're hot and they're running on the rail right now. And I want to see the rest of their schedule is, Burge, next week they'll be home, SEC Network at 3:15 for Missouri. And then they play the Puppy Dogs of Wolford. And then they finish, of course, at Clemson. Big rival game at Clemson.
I mean, I think they could win out. I mean, I don't see that Clemson's an insurmountable.
No,
and they're pretty good, but I don't.
They're 5-3 right now. They could at least win. I mean, let's just say they don't beat Clemson, but they beat A&M, Mizzou, and Wolford, so they win 3. They win 8 games this year. South Carolina, and I don't remember. I think I may have had them for. I know I didn't have them for 9. I'm sure of it. Probably 7 or 8. Probably 7.5, because I like that quarterback, man. Sellers he's a guy, man. He's one of those electric playmakers, dude. He just can.
They won't. Could be. They will be.
No. Yeah, being it won't. There's just the only way. Now, I'll say this because I have seen it happen before, and if anybody gets lucky, Birds, tell them who the luckiest team is, like a dog with 2 left feet. It's Alabama. Somebody will, like Iowa State lost to Oklahoma State that night and got Bama back in to play LSU that year, and that would never happen again. Never.
Interested to see how those rankings come out tonight, where like a couple of teams are and how they view the divisions and stuff. It's going to be a little different than AP, I think.
Yes, it will be. So I like South Carolina kind of big in that game.
I tend to agree with you. I think 10 to 14 points, South Carolina.
Let's see here. Come on, you piece of junk. Let's see here. Let me talk about some tonight. Tuesday night here in just a little while. Actually, the first game up for tonight is Bowling Green at Central Michigan. Bowling Green's favored by 2 touchdowns. Miami of Ohio is at Ball State. Miami, Ohio is favored by 12.5. Any close games tomorrow night, Birds? Northern Illinois is at Western Michigan at 6 o'clock, ESPN2. Thursday night football games. I will be interested in this one. I will probably watch this. App State is at Coastal Carolina, 7 o'clock, ESPN Thursday night. 1-point game. They got Coastal picked by 1. And because I'm a fan of East Carolina, Florida Atlantic will be at Eastern Carolina also at the same time on ESPN2. East Carolina is favored by 7.5. Now, Friday, Cavs at Wake Forest, Iowa's at UCLA, Rice at Memphis, New Mexico at San Diego State. We got we can bring this one up. Florida Gators are going out to play Texas at 11 o'clock on ABC. What's the expense report on that?
If they had Lagway, you would like their chances a little better. They're going to be starting.
Good God Almighty! Texas favored by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is the old boy from Yale going to have to start?
I don't see why he wouldn't. I mean, I don't see how that. Lagway, I think
Is he out?
I haven't heard, to be honest with
Okay.
you. I know it didn't look good. It was a
Lower leg.
hamstring, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right, hamstring. Let's see.
We'll see if there's an injury update out there.
That's what I was typing there. Yeah. One day ago, injury update. Bill Napier shares latest update on quarterback. On 3. Positive thing: we do not think the injury is less significant. We think that there's a pathway for recovery and return, and we did find that out Sunday evening. A lot of good, so less significant than we anticipated, and he's been doing well so far as of yesterday morning. We have not completely ruled him out for Texas. I think a lot determined on his move will lay throughout the week, so that's a good thing for all involved, and certainly for DJ. It's going to be pretty clear cut once we get to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So then we will know. So there you go. They think it's highly possible that he could play Saturday. So I hope he does, man. I wanted to see him play. And I know you're a Georgia fan, but I know how you are, sort of. I've been around you enough. You want to, if you're going to beat them, you don't want them to say, well, by God, if DJ played, I don't know if,
Yeah, I don't want to beat them with their backup. Nope.
God, that poor kid. He did okay though, man. I mean, did he not? To you, I think he did pretty good.
Yeah,
for the most part,
did pretty good. I think it was like 6 for 19 with a touchdown. But
for the most part, I think he did okay for not the entire game, because there towards the end he just kind of fell apart, and Georgia got after him, and he smelled blood, and he just tucked his tail and ran. But he come down there as a third string quarterback. He's a freshman kid. He's from Florida. And he's transferred from Yale. He probably just assumed he wanted to probably – I bet I'm not going to even look – I'm going to look up his major because it made me curious now. He's probably a marine biology major, and he come to Florida to get that degree, and he thought, I'll never have to play quarterback here ever. And then they call him in against Georgia, and he's like, no, God, no.
No, he probably wasn't like that. He's probably thinking, all right, let's get it done.
I don't know about that, man. If he's got some dog in him, and it seemed like he kind of did. He had some dog on him, literally. So, dang, they'll never be able to beat Texas.
Well,
so we can move on.
No. Yeah.
Does Georgia Tech have a shot to beat the Hurricanes at 11 o'clock on ESPN? Miami's favored.
Well, let me ask you this: is Haynes King playing?
Well, I tell you what, I didn't know he was hurt, but I do know this. I do know a guy named Zach Petterayan. He played at Central Phoenix. He started his high school career at Fife, and he is the quarterback at Georgia Tech. I remember talking to him on the phone. He was fixing to go to college. He was fixing to go to UAB. He went to UAB. Him and Brody Dalton, that class. He graduated. He finished at Central, where he won state championship down there with Bo Nix's dad.
He's from Pinson.
Yep.
I see him now.
But he started at Fife, and pretty much just the way Fife plays football, they pretty much just kind of said, well, we're not going to probably throw the ball a lot. We're about like Pierce County over in Georgia. We're going to run it about 72 out of 73 plays. So he went to Central down there and played at Pinson Valley, and with Teddy Whitmire, which is the defensive coach now at Coastal Christian. They were down there together. But anyway, he's at Georgia Tech, and he's a good quarterback, man. He's an athlete. I watched him play high school. He can run, he can throw, he can kick. Zach's good. He's good people, man. So I hadn't seen him play enough in college to evaluate him versus better talent than what I've seen him versus here at Alabama in high school. Does that make sense? But I do know from what I've seen he is good. So I think he keeps them. I think he keeps hope alive if King can't go. But King's good now. Now I'm not taking that away from that young man. He is he's straight
Brent
up.
Key hopeful for him to be good to go Saturday. He says he's still day to day right now.
Okay.
The
Texas
question that
State.
you originally answered me: if Haynes King's in there, yeah, they got a puncher's shot. They got a puncher's chance.
I like Miami to win it all. I called my shot 2 weeks ago.
Ooh,
I just did. I've got a feeling about this team. They remind me, Benton, of that stinking 09 Bama team. Like they would just screw stuff up sometimes that they just would win the game. I don't know. Somehow they would just figure it out. You know, like something weird would have to kind of happen, or somebody'd have to fall over a guy for the guy to be open, and it just would happen. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I
just
think,
Cinderella lot.
yeah. Georgia's the first one, not the second one. I think the first one for Georgia was kind of that way. There's some things, just weird stuff that happened, and it just kind of works out in your favor, and you just wind up winning the whole darn thing.
I just looking over their schedule, man. I just question: have they played anybody? Are they going to get shocked when they get in this tournament?
I don't think
if
so.
they win the SEC and they're the 2, 3, 4, 1 at whatever seed they are they going to be shocked by Ohio State when they come calling, or somebody like that?
Defensively, they're not as talented as most of these teams around the land, but I think they can score enough, and that's not going to totally completely matter. I think they can score on a lot of teams because Cam Ward's money. He's very mature, very easy in the pocket. I like Miami. I think them and Ohio State probably wind up playing for this thing, or them and Oregon.
I'm not sold on anybody. I'm gonna be honest with
you. Well, everybody's just watered down right now. Nobody's real good, Burge. Now, Todd thinks that it's kind of there's parity, and that everybody is pretty good. And there's a lot of people. I'm not just his opinion is of that of a lot of other people, and there's a few of me that think that there's not a lot of people in my court. Most people were on that side that everybody's pretty good now. I think that nobody's really good. I don't see it. I mean, we're talking about the better quarterbacks in the league right now. I tell you what, give me Matthew Stafford and AJ McCarron. Them two would smoke any quarterback playing right now in college football. Any of them. I don't care. Them two could go out and play a game, AJ and Stafford. And I'm just a big AJ fan. I just thought of his name quick. That's why I used his name. Him and Stafford could. Well, I tell you what, I take old boy from who's the other guy? Who's the attorney? I always forget his name. I really liked him at Georgia. The one that won the Rose Bowl out there, beat Oklahoma.
You talking about?
God, I liked him, boy. He was a dude. Now I liked him. Dark-headed kid.
You ain't talking about Stetson, are you?
No. This was one or two before him.
No.
No. It's between them.
Jake
won the Rose. Yes. Yeah. Boy, I like him.
Yeah.
I like how he played. I like how he talked a little smack. He wasn't too crazy about some smack talking, but he talked enough. And he usually backs it up. I liked him. But what I'm saying is a lot of those quarterbacks I think they're way better than any. I mean, what quarterbacks who's going to blow up the first round is going to go first pick? Who? I don't see nothing.
Overrated.
I just don't see it. KJ Jefferson, last year, he was the big talk. Milroe had some hype for about half a quarter. Beck had some preseason talk, All-American, #1, best in the nation. That went away about week 3. I ain't heard nothing else about it. Because he's good for about 3 picks a game now. And if Georgia didn't have them didn't play defense, he better freaking buy them steak and country gravy every freaking Saturday night, because that defense has saved his AWS week and week and week and week. Because it's hard for them to score, so they can go out there and screw up the first half. You know what I'm saying? And it don't matter too much. It's the same thing with Nico. He goes out there and they don't have to score the first half because the defense is working their butts off and they're holding another team to 10. And they think, well, we'll get together here in a minute. But I think it's just all I think it's a little watered down all together. Now I'm excited about this game, and I'll talk about this one because I have a kid that played for me years ago, Slade Alexander, at Middle Tennessee. Liberty's going to be traveling there at 12 o'clock on CBS. Liberty is favored by 11. I'll be interested in that game. Slade is, what number is he? 44? Plays at Middle Tennessee. He usually plays like a blocking fullback or an end out there. He'll come across in motion and block, or they may hand it to him on a short yardage. He's a muscle old heavy shoulder kid. Played it here at Cherokee County. Whoa. Indiana's going to beat the crap out of Michigan. They're favored by 2. Have you ever thought in your life that Indiana would ever be favored by 2 touchdowns over Michigan? Never.
Michigan's offense is awful.
Man, they're just not. They can't throw it or run it. Oklahoma State at TCU, the battle of the doo-doos. They're both terrible. Here's another terrible. SEC Network at 6:45 Birds. Oklahoma's at Missouri. What do you think about that? Any opinions on that one? Cook's not playing at Missouri. I'm pretty sure he's out. They're going to have to play that Pine kid. Bless his heart. I'd hate to have to do film study with him or come to the sideline when you get the iPad out and then you're saying, all right, tell me what you saw right here. Why did you throw the pick? You threw it right in his gut. You didn't even try to throw. What are you throwing at? He's terrible. But I mean, I couldn't do that better.
I don't really care for either one of those teams this year. They have really excited me.
I thought Missouri would have a little better shot with having Burden and Cook, but I know losing that tailback, and then they lost to several guys on defense, man, like some defensive linemen and their linebacker. Yeah. 7 o'clock on Peacock. Washington plays Penn State. And
Bounce back game.
Here's one. Dean brought this up Sunday, and at that late night game on ESPN when everybody's like done went to bed and they're dozing off there, and you nice comfy little slippers and your little night hat and you sipping on your warm cider there, 9:15 on ESPN. The old Mormon church with their 6 wives for every player is going to show up out there and play the Utes of Utah. I may get us banned on the page. We may get shadow banned now. I've done made fun of people, and BYU's favored about 60% and points favored. They are 5-point favored. BYU Cougars undefeated 8-0 against the 4-4 Utah Utes. Cam Rising. Cam's not playing. He's going to blue shirt to come back and play for his 7th year. He's going to be like 25 next year, 26. What are we doing?
That's Van Wilder, ain't it?
What are we doing? Yes, I know, man. Like, bro, somebody buy the man a freaking golf cart and just let him ride off in the sunset. God,
interesting to see where BYU ends up on this top 25 that's coming out here in about 5 minutes.
Oh, 5 minutes. Okay. I thought I could talk long enough to kill that much time. Tell me about Georgia and Ole Miss before we switch over.
Well, it looks like weather's going to impact this game a little bit too.
Okay.
Which may be a good thing for Georgia. Maybe they can hand the ball off a few more times. Running back ETN I think he's day to day. I think Kirby thinks he's going to play. He's got some bruised ribs or something like that. So it really depends on how much pain he can handle. But I think Frazier can handle the load if we give him opportunities. He's young, but he's a good bat.
Love him. I'll take him in a minute.
Yeah,
I think he's great.
Quick feet, man. Really quick
Like
feet. I like the way he runs. Beck can't turn the ball over on the road 3 times.
Well, that's going. He's going to.
You know that like 9 of his 12 interceptions have been on first down. Does that make sense?
Stop throwing the ball on first down, Bobo. You clown. God dang it, man. Are you on train with me yet with running Bobo? Dean finally got on the train. He's on the Bobo hate train finally. After Sunday, he said, you know what? After watching this game and go back and watching highlights, I'm with you on Bobo. I'm against him now. I finally got Dean on the Bobo hate train.
Here's the thing. The only thing that stopped Georgia the other night was their own quarterback. And a couple of those turnovers were thrown right into the middle of double and triple coverage.
I don't know what he's doing. He's blind or drunk.
Bobo doesn't control that. Now Bobo does not have the. Does he always call the right play? No. But I feel like that if there was a little bit better execution, there wouldn't be as much complaint about Bobo, in my opinion.
2:30. It's a 2:30 game. ABC, right?
Yes. 2:30 Central.
ABC. Yeah. Georgia's going to finish here with Tennessee, and then UMass and Georgia Tech. So the next 2 weeks could be I wouldn't push the panic button, but Georgia's got 2 tough games next 2 weeks.
Yeah, they gotta get through those. This week, I think, for sure, and I think it's going to be big to have Tennessee in Athens this year. That's going to be big. Night game in Athens. That'll be
6:30 ABC
atmosphere. So.
They'll play them at 6:30 on ABC. I'll take but like you said, now I mean it's going to be at Ole Miss. I don't think that makes a big difference in this game. Just me personally. I think it just is what it is. I think it's going to be more lean towards a probably like a between a Texas and Kentucky style game. I know 13-12 on 30-15. So I'm assuming that I think Dart's they're definitely gonna score.
Yeah,
I think you're gonna need 28 to beat them.
Yeah, I think. Go ahead.
Ole Miss is good up front, man. Their defensive front's good, bro. They give people a lot of trouble. They're highly ranked in the nation. You go in that NCAA stats. Ole Miss is high offense and defense overall. They can do it, man.
I just don't know if there's an offense. Not saying it. I mean, Georgia's world beaters or anything, but they've been, decently successful. If they don't turn the ball over, I don't know if Ole Miss has played that offense yet. I don't know. For some reason, I tend to favor Georgia, and I know I'm a Georgia fan. That makes me sound like a homer. I got to see it to believe it in the Ole Miss category. And a couple years ago, even last year, there was big worry about Dart and Ole Miss, and it just didn't happen. And it may happen this week, and maybe because I'm picking Georgia here, but I think Georgia wins something to the tune of 38-21 or 38-24 or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it's a 2-touchdown game.
I think they can keep it closer. Here's the thing. I don't know. The last time Georgia seen probably a defensive front this good would probably it's had to be Bama's. It's the closest one. I mean, and Bama's is not their rank. I mean, hell, their defense is 50. Ole Miss is their top 5.
Yeah,
their corners are fast.
400 plus yards to Arkansas and 31 points to Arkansas.
Yeah, but we know that Ole Miss strength of schedule, like Bama's strength of schedule is 5. Ole Miss is like 35. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, something like
That's
that.
why it does. That's why they're Bama's played. It's been a little harder schedule because of the ranked teams they played. So I think Georgia wins the game. Just come right out and pick it. But then like you said, we could sit here and pick it apart. If Beck turns the ball over, well, yeah, duh. If he turns the ball over 3 times, they may not win a game because Georgia's D backfield reminds me a lot of Bama's. They got one guy back there, Sparks, and Bama's got more. And the other guys are kind of young. They're pretty good, but they're just young. They'll get turned around sometimes. They'll go the wrong way. But I think as the years went on, they've gelled and become better. But they ain't seen a guy throw the ball like Dart nowhere. Not like this. He's going to be the best guy. But the thing is, Kirby's going to adjust at halftime. If whatever they need to adjust on defense, he's going to figure it out. So, the battle of the Saban disciples is going to go down Saturday, because that's probably the better of the 2 coaches that Saban had, maybe besides Sark.
We're just gonna roll right into this one, or
Yeah,
I didn't know if we wanted to add.
yeah, whatever you want to do. If you got something different to do, or
No, I don't. I wanted
okay,
I wanted to do this ranking show. I just didn't know if we wanted to add my stream. I don't know if I can add my stream to it or not.
yes, you
It's
can.
already live, can I?
It should be up there at the top because I was on Andrews the other day. It says I think it just says add stream up there in the top corner or something. I think it says go. I don't know. I think it says add stream or join. I don't know. I think it says something. I'm trying to find it on here. Oh shoot.
I think it just added it.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh,
Yeah, for those of you that just joined here, we just come off a conversation about some games.
Yeah, what's up, everybody?
We are actually going to go over the college football ranking show, which is live right now. First rankings to come out, top 25. Obviously, the first year of the 12-team playoffs. So it's going to be interesting to see what this new committee values as far as conferences and the at-large teams. I'm interested to see where like a team like Indiana, BYU, even teams like Alabama, Tennessee, where are they going to be in this early selection show? So.
Let's see. Yes. Is that? No, that's not it.
Ben Smith wants to know where Boise State's going to be at. I think. I don't know.
I think they're a top 12 team. I like to see them get in there and get a shot at it. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
There. Guys, y'all come in and take your shoes off. We're kind of quiet right now. We're just letting the show kind of roll in here. The selection show. We just come out talking about Alabama, LSU, Georgia, and Ole Miss fighting Kiffins, and a few other games here or there. South Carolina, Vanderbilt, we talked about it for a little bit, and the selection show is on. So y'all tune in here and take your shoes off and let your hair down and hang in there with us, and we'll see where all these guys kind of where it thins out to. Do I think? Oh, okay, Bear Jets. I think that's for you, pal. It's about a day you're gonna get in the playoffs, Birds. Yeah, y'all come in and take your shoes off and take a break from politics, Birds. Let's don't even. By God, we ain't gonna have to see one commercial of old horse teeth. We ain't gonna have to see her any. I love it. I'm fired up about it. No more horse teeth. Turn the page. Somebody needs to turn her in. We ain't gonna do no politics. We just gonna talk about college football and ranking. That's what I need to type. I'm trying to find it on YouTube. I can't find it, Birds.
I've got it rolling on outside there. It says moments away from the first review, exclusive review. I'm going to try to write down who's where so we can go back and talk about it.
Okay.
Every year, but I think most people are going to be fascinated. We've gone through this exercise a couple times now, the last couple of weeks, and had some fun at the AP voters' expense. But you're going to realize that we thought the 12-team playoff, we'd be including so many teams. Like, oh, there's no way anyone's getting left out. Man, we're almost going to let teams in that have no business being in. I think people will find that the 12-team playoff deals with all the spots.
Let's see here.
They're basically saying that, it's been 4 teams for a while now. And, you would think moving to 12 teams that everybody that is going to be involved, everybody's going to have a shot. Well, you start looking at these 12 teams and you're talking about teams you're going to have to leave out.
Yes. Yeah.
And, I don't think it matters how many teams you put in your playoff. You're always going to have teams that are on the borderline going to be left out. So,
well,
like we talked about earlier, the Alabama LSU game, with both teams having 2 losses, this could be a de facto playoff game right here.
It is. Well, we talk about this all the time, and I mean, the thing is this: no matter what you do, Birds, somebody's gonna gripe. Okay, especially in this old soft society we live in now. You can't holler at your kids, and all that stuff. People get offended and all that. Somebody's gonna get offended, especially about football. You got some of the craziest fans right in the world, right here in these states that me and you's in.
Yeah.
Well, somebody's gonna be mad. Somebody's gonna be mad. Either way, if there's 4 teams or 12, if they did 16 teams, number 17 is gonna say, "By God, we beat Indiana." Somebody's gonna be mad.
All right, we starting off with Army at the 25. Number 25, Army at 8-0. What do you think about putting Army in the top 25?
Yes, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I can dig it.
Number 24, Missouri.
You said you're writing these down?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
It's currently sitting at 6-2. Number 23, the Clemson Tigers. Clemson at 6.
Five Sweeney's.
Now you're gonna ask me a question here after I tell you who's 22. Louisville, 1 spot above Clemson. My guess is there's no way you can put Clemson above Louisville. They just got hammered by them. So Clemson all the way down at 23, Louisville at 22. 21, Washington State, Wazoo setting at 7-1. And number 20, the Buffaloes, 6-2, Colorado.
Yeah, they got a big game this weekend. I mean, I like their chances.
They could win out, get in that championship game.
Yeah, I don't know if they can win. I don't know if they can win the conference. I guess now with Iowa State with a loss, I guess they could.
Yeah, I think if they win out, that puts them in their conference championship game. Coming in at number 19, Kansas State, which is at 7-2.
I think they're a little overrated.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. The Panthers of Pittsburgh at number 18.
Yeah, they dropped way out. They got destroyed. Well, Holston, their quarterback, went out. He got hurt.
Yeah, I didn't help none, but I dropped them down pretty good.
Yes.
Getting close to the top 12, but you got to keep in mind, there may be teams in that top 12 that get bumped down if a team like Colorado comes up and wins their conference and not in the top 12. They will knock somebody out of that.
Well, even this weekend now, you got to remember there's a lot of teams fixing to play each other, just in the top 15, just this weekend and over the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. A lot of these teams are going to play each other again.
Number 17, Iowa State. And at 17, Cyclones. Hotty Toddy in at 16, Ole Miss set at 7-2, number 16 seed. Yeah. They pretty much they have to beat Georgia. They got to win this week, or they're done.
Yes. Yeah. And if Georgia loses, that'll bump them down to. They'll probably a 10.
Something in that. Yeah, I would agree. 15, LSU at 15, 6-2. I guess you're going to see Alabama between the 10 and 14 here. What do you think?
Probably 12.
Let's see. Who else? You got a Penn State team that's won one loss. You got
most of the one-loss teams. How many one-loss teams are there? There'll probably be 7 or 8. Probably 1 through 7 will be undefeateds and one loss, I guess.
All right, so the second team out right now will be number 14, Texas A&M. Second team out. And the first team out right now at 13 is SMU.
All I'm saying is, does that mean Indiana is not disrespected in this? They are now in this bracket.
To me, that tells me that Indiana's in that top 12.
Army doesn't feel disrespected. They're coming in at 25.
They're talking about on here the Indiana strength of schedule is not very good, and the Army strength of schedule. When you compare those two, why is Army at 25 and Indiana in this top 12? But I would imagine that Indiana's got to be close to the top.
Because of Nick Saban. It's because he worked for Saban. It's a bunch of crap. Bama fan crap.
Boise State. Boise State is the number 12 seed.
Okay. I bet Bama should be 11, I would assume.
There you go, Ben Smith. Boise State at 12. Alabama at 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, strength of schedule is boosting boosting them up is what they're talking about right now.
Who's?
Alabama.
Yeah, it was 5. Last week it was 5. And you know what Boise's strength of schedule is? It was 83.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I know they can't help who they play, where they're at.
Yeah.
And, Oregon had to kick a field goal, Birds, in last of the game to beat them.
I agree.
Nobody's talking
personally, I'm not sold.
Why is nobody – I think I'm the only guy talking about that. Why? Bro, Oregon didn't try hard because bull crap. Dan Lanning, dude, he's one of them guys. Dude, he's a straight up Kirby. He's one of Kirby's guys, straight up out of Nick Saban's hip. Them guys ain't trying to go in there and not get fired up. They play faceless opponents. He's going to try to beat Boise by 100 if he could. I don't want to hear that. I ain't going to hear none of that. They just didn't get – I can't get into that. Maybe the kids didn't, but by God, it wasn't because Coach Lanning didn't have them ready.
Current 10 seed, Notre Dame, Fighting Irish.
Why? I seen that earlier. Why? What are we doing with them, man? Come on.
That win against A&M.
Look what's happened. They're not taking into favor. Where's A&M today? They ain't none. Notre Dame couldn't beat. They couldn't beat none of the top 12 teams. If you go to Vegas and match up, somebody help me. Tell me if I'm wrong. You put Notre Dame on the line against any of them teams, I guarantee you, Notre Dame's not going to be favored against anybody in the top 10.
Probably not. No.
You think they're going to be favored to beat Boise or Alabama? I don't think so.
Well, maybe this team that's in the top 10, BYU sitting at 9, but currently projected to be the winner of their division or conference. So they are currently the 4 seed in the playoffs. Ranked 9, currently the 4 seed.
Okay.
Number 8, and coming in at the 9 seed is Indiana. Indiana at number 8. It's a little high for me.
In the playoff?
Yes, they're number 8 seed. Or number 9 seed, ranked number 8. That's confusing because Boise's BYU, the number 9 ranked team, but the number 4 seed at this point.
Well, because of that conference, they're going to assume they win the.
I'm going to be honest with you. I've watched 5 minutes of Indiana. I got to do some more Indiana watching. I haven't watched a whole lot of Indiana.
Yeah, I'm about the same. I watched them play last weekend. I watched about a quarter or so, but somebody else is on. I don't watch them.
Yeah.
He's a good coach, man. He's going to get after it. He's got them playing hard, and he got a bunch of portal kids from James Madison. So, I mean, I don't need to hear a bunch of excuses about why kids at Alabama or Georgia can't get after it, get up there and play and win football games. These guys are from James Madison.
Yeah.
Guys, he's named after one of their founding fathers. They shouldn't be good at football. This ain't 1890 where Minnesota's winning a national championship. Come on.
The number 7 ranked team, the number 8 seeded team, Tennessee. Volunteers would face off against Indiana at this point. The first round.
I'll take Indiana on that game. I'm serious.
It'd be at Tennessee.
Yeah. First college playoff selection show. Guys, thank y'all for coming by and hanging out with us. We're going to go through this and we'll get done. We'll talk about it and take a break from politics. We ain't doing that here. We're just going to talk about football. I'm tired of politics. I've been tired of it probably about 15 years, 20 years of it.
I'll tell you what, can we get away with playing video without sound?
No.
Can't do
I
that.
I tried it one time.
Okay,
For my game, I was just rewatching the game and talking about some plays and no sound, and I didn't even play all of it, dude. I got a strike on there. They didn't pull the video, but those bots pick up all that stuff because what it is when you play the stream on the page, I guess it's got some kind of embedded something. So when it comes up on there, YouTube recognizes it, the stream where it's coming from.
6 seed, Penn State, Nittany Lions at the 6 seed.
No, they're terrible. They went to overtime with USC. Dude, this is the playoff. This is what y'all wanted.
Currently hosting Alabama, the Texas Longhorns at number 5, or the number 6 seed, ranked number 5. So it'd be 11 seed Alabama at number 5 or number 6 seed Texas. And Notre Dame, the 10 seed, would be at the 7 seed Penn State Nittany Lions.
Yeah, that'd be a good game. Notre Dame, Penn State. They're both bad.
I see 3 good games: Indiana, Tennessee, Alabama, Texas, Notre Dame, Penn State. I mean, those are good games. I think they're good games.
BYU, bro, somebody's gonna beat the freaking dog legs off them. It's gonna be a TCU Georgia. This is gonna happen. They want this 12 team in there, but when somebody gets disappointed and gets their feelings hurt real bad, it's just gonna happen.
Number 4 seed, or the number 4 ranked team, taking the number 3 seed right now, the Miami Hurricanes. They would await the winner of Alabama, Texas. Now that is interesting. You can't tell me you're not interested in that.
I'd love to see Bama play Miami. Be a rematch, 92.
I just
Yeah.
like the matchups. I like the ability, and I know you're going to get that dud matchup. You know, the Boise State, maybe the BYU.
Who would Boise play? Boise would play the 6, right?
Yeah, we hadn't made it there.
Okay.
Right now, they have the number 3rd ranked team, Georgia Bulldogs, which will be the 2nd seed, 3rd ranked team. They would be awaiting the Notre Dame Penn State winner. I think Georgia would take that all day long.
See, that's where you're going to get some of these cake games.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but somebody's going to get, in this scenario, somebody's going to get lucky, I think. And Georgia would be lucky in that scenario.
Yeah. But who would they get after that?
The winner of Alabama, Texas, and Miami threesome. That would go, you would play in the semifinal.
So Bama would have to beat Texas and then Miami after Georgia beats the winner of
Penn State, Notre Dame. Correct. It's going to be
Georgia ought to be healthy after they played their 3rd string quarterback in that game.
I don't even know who the 3rd string quarterback will be. Maybe Ryan Plesny. I don't think he's played any. Actually, Jaden Rashada. I know you know who that is because you've heard.
Yeah.
I keep hearing that Rashada may be your quarterback next year. You might have a little more of a run option.
I like him. I watched him in high
I
school.
think he was bad at Arizona State. They were bad, but he wasn't bad.
He got picked up in a camp at like a Nevada camp about 2 years ago, maybe, or something. And that's where I found him at.
Of course, 2 9-0 is 1.
Hang on, go through that again. It cut out.
Sorry. Ohio State at 2, and Oregon is setting at 1 at 9-0.
So the top 4 is a little different. They got BYU in there. They're going to get a bye.
So right now they're talking. Booger's talking about how he thinks Georgia's a better football team than Ohio State, and that he would put Georgia above Ohio State because they have a better win on the road at Texas.
That's true.
And they're arguing that Georgia's been sloppy and Ohio State's played better overall, which I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's what it is.
Yeah.
But they win. That defense finds a way to keep Georgia in the game. So they can cover up Beck's mistakes.
I want to see this come back up, and I'm going to pause the screen or take a screenshot or something so we can pull it up and talk about it.
Okay. Yeah, thank y'all for coming by and hanging out with us. We're doing the college football selection show. If some people's just kind of jumping in on the stream right now, you can find me Sunday night, me and Dean here, Locker Room Sports, Sunday at 6 over here in the Bama time. And Birds is on every night. He'd be taking videos from his flying his jet plane and flying out to games and meeting Kirby. And
speaking of Kirby, your boy Caden Fife from down your neck of the woods just garnered an offer from Georgia yesterday.
Yeah.
And UAB as well. I'm going to give UAB the credit.
Yeah. Yeah, they're that's a big he's his stats have actually earned it there at Chattooga High School. His dad was a little bit younger than me. He played out here at Cedar Bluff, little town over here in Cherokee County, just right across the line from Coosa, down from Lyerly. Just kind of come on down the state line road there. Yeah, I'm proud for it. Yeah, I'm proud for kids, man. I'm a supporter of kids, no matter where they go. Whatever they can do to better themselves, rock on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Sunday we'll go through those 4 or 5 games that we talked about. We'll talk about this the picks again and kind of talk about who's by and who's going to kind of play out. How some of those games will play out. And me and you did this last year, remember?
Yeah.
We took our own 12, and it wound up being kind of what it turned out to be anyway, didn't it?
Really similar. It was not much different at all. Right now,
That's
I'm just trying to find.
It's because we the goats, son. That's why you hit that subscribe button. Get over here on the Big Mountain and the Birds Connection. ESPN, eat your hearts out. You can't afford me, son. Birds has already got a private plane. He don't need none of your money.
Oh boy.
Commercial.
Yeah. I'm looking for the updated bracket. I figured they would have one out.
It'll be a little bit.
Because they don't have the
Okay, I'm seeing it here on the screen now. I got a shot of
yeah, when it's live, I can't go back. And I was going to try to go back.
well, no, that's not it. This is well, no, wait a minute. They got okay, yeah. Okay, my bad. Bama, the winner of Bama, Texas plays Miami. Winner Indiana, Tennessee plays Oregon. Winner Boise, Ohio plays BYU. Winner of Notre Dame, Penn State plays Georgia. Okay.
Yeah.
Right off the top of my head, just a quick reaction. You know, if I just had to guess, like, hey, Matt, you got to guess it right now. You know, I would say. I'll say Ohio State makes it to the semis. I think they run through Boise and BYU. I just think, just talent wise, just where the players are. I think Ohio State could. I think they should be able to beat them. I think Indiana has as good a shot as any to beat Tennessee. Now, I don't know if Indiana can beat Oregon, so I'm going to take Oregon to the semis to play Ohio State. If Bama can if they can get back healthy, some of the defensive backs and people stop telling Milroe, stop whispering in his ear that, you know, you're a pocket passer. You're a pocket passer. You got to throw the ball at least 30 times a game. Stop doing that. That's not him. Stop doing that. I think they could beat Texas. I'd like to see Miami's defense try to stop Milroe. That'd be interesting. I don't have any faith in Notre Dame at all. I could definitely see Georgia definitely in a semi against Miami or Texas. And everybody knows it's hard to beat a team twice. You could see Kirby and Sark go at it again in a semifinal game, right?
Yeah.
That top part of the box, have you got a picture of it?
I am almost done with it. Yes, sir.
The top two boxes, the Boise and Ohio and Indiana, Tennessee, that's probably the more interesting. And I know Alabama's in there, but that Alabama owes Texas a butt whooping, do they not? Huh? Don't you think so?
Well, I think so from last year.
And the year before. I mean, they still owe them one. I just don't see. That's just stupid. Can't put Notre Dame in there. Man, get out of here, Notre Dame. Why are they in there?
There you go.
Okay.
Only lost at that game.
I don't. I don't. I just assume see. See, where's Notre Dame at? I just assume see A&M.
Oh Lord!
Oh God, what'd he do?
Started a slideshow. Hold on. We'll get it back. There we go.
I just assume to see. I swear, I just assume to see A&M play Penn State. I swear I would. I just ain't got no faith in Notre Dame. They put these crapping teams in here because of who they are and blah, blah, blah. And it's Notre Dame. They don't even have a – when everybody else is playing a conference title game, they're going to be sitting at the house twiddling their thumb, eating peanuts. I don't see it. Is anybody out there in the comment section? Please, somebody help me. Is anybody else fired up about Notre Dame? I'm just not. I don't think they're good. Who else is not fired up about Notre Dame? Hit the comment section.
I mean, I think you talked about what you thought, but just looking right here, I would probably, I think I would favor Tennessee over Indiana just because it's at Tennessee. Tennessee and Oregon will be an interesting battle. Ohio State over Boise State, I don't think that would be very good. Ohio State, one could argue that Ohio State's quadrant there would be maybe the easiest road. Maybe Georgia. I don't know. Who's better, Penn State or BYU?
Well, in knowing that Penn State played overtime game with USC, which is hot garbage. That kills my faith.
Yeah.
And Franklin is like, what was his record against top teams? And what was it? Like 1-16? I mean, it's not good. But honestly, neither is Ryan Days. I mean, let's just be honest.
So they got the strength of schedule pulled up here. They're talking about the schedule comparisons. Oregon has the 45th strength of schedule. Ohio State 19th. Georgia in the 3 spot with the number 1 rated strength of schedule out of any of these teams. Miami 46th. Texas 54th. Penn State 28th. Tennessee 33rd. Get this, Indiana 103. BYU 61. Notre Dame 75. Alabama at 11. And Boise State at 59.
What's Georgia's strength schedule?
1. In the top, they're ranked number 1 right now.
And that's because
Alabama, Texas.
They've played more ranked teams.
Yeah, that's true.
So basically, what we got every year, the same thing. We're going to make this Big 12 team playoff just so we can. Alabama and Georgia can still. Which I'm not picking Bama to go. I picked Bama to lose 3 games this year. I thought Bama could make the playoffs, and if they did, great. And if they don't, oh well. But when you start getting teams with 106 strengths of schedule versus the 84 strengths of schedule, what are we really doing? All that's doing, Burge, is just that's fanning the flames for coaches not to schedule tough games. But here, listen to this. This is what everybody – don't forget about this. Is it not next year, but the next 20 and 26, SEC is going to a 9-conference game schedule. Well, guess what? All those strength schedules are going to be then.
Even better.
That's why people at Ohio State, if there's Ohio State fans in here watching, I'm sorry, you can just cry in your milk. But that's why Sankey is saying we could schedule an outside opponent because the teams that we're playing here each other in the 8 games is harder than the 9 that you're going to play. Now, you can just take that for whatever it's worth because it's just true. Look at the strength of schedule. Bird just broke it down for you. He just told you what it is. So in SEC teams, their 8-team schedule. Why is Bama, whatever 10 and Georgia 1? Because we play each other. why is Indiana's strength of schedule, 116? Why are they in here? Because they don't play nobody. But in their defense, just like they say in high school, well, they won that region. Well, that region ain't no good while they won it. Well, but they've been beating people by 30. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it is a bad region, then you're winning it by a lot. So that's what you're supposed to do.
Here after the break, they're going to talk about. They're going to use a playoff predictor and do a couple of scenarios to see what they come up with here. It's going to be interesting.
I'll tell you
one
what.
thing I look at is, the A&M is not in that top. Let's see, A&M's not in the top 12.
No, they're the second team out. A&M. I'd rather see A&M play. I'd rather see A&M play Penn State. I'm just telling you. I ain't got no love for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So losing to Northern Illinois, the Wolfpack weighs none. Playing the Huskies, that weighs none on the committee. And I said that it would not. But here's why it don't matter, because it's early.
Yeah.
And just wait till LSU wins. Guess who's in there?
Yeah, it'll be LSU sitting at that 11 or 10, depending on what the final score is and how they finish the year.
And who did LSU lose to game one? Yeah, went out to Vegas, got beat by USC, right?
Yeah.
So everybody. You get late in the season, when you get November, people forget about end of August and first September. And if you want to take the whole body, I like to take I'm a history major by trade, by education degree. I like to look at the whole thing. I mean, you got to look at the whole thing. You can't just take games here or there.
Here's a trivia question. Who's been in the college football playoff the most without a championship since it started?
It's got to be Ohio State. They've got one.
It says Oklahoma, and that would be 4 times.
Oh, okay.
4 times without it.
Oh, well, they hadn't won it.
Yeah.
They didn't. Well, no, that wouldn't have. No, it wasn't. They beat Bama Sugar Bowl that year. That was when McCarron was there.
Here's another question they're asking. How many SEC teams do you see getting in at the end? Obviously, right here we have 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Think 4 is as many as can be, or you think that maybe there's more?
Well, let's don't forget that Clemson's going to play Miami.
Yep.
And let's don't forget that Oregon 1 is going to play 5. That's why this don't even matter very much, because one of them's out. Not now. Well, I mean, who are they going to bump out? Okay,
yeah.
If let's just say Ohio State beats Oregon, they put Oregon they put them at 4, or let's just say they put them at 5, and they swap Oregon and Ohio State. Maybe put Ohio State at 4 and put Oregon at 5. And Tennessee ain't played Georgia yet, neither.
Nope, you're right.
So what happens there? That's why it's fun to talk about, and I'm glad we're doing it. We got a lot of people watching, and we appreciate everybody for coming by and hanging out. Hit the comment section, guys. Tell us who y'all like. Y'all are just too quiet on here. This is about y'all. We do this for you guys. I mean, I like talking to birds, but we like other people's input because it gives us something more to talk about. What do y'all think? Get your thumbs ready and warm them up, and tell us who you like.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. So they have a number of teams, 12 teams with a 50-50 or greater chance of making the playoffs. That would be Oregon, Georgia, Miami, Ohio State, Indiana, Texas. Well, hell, it's the teams that's in there, the teams that you can see on the screen right now.
Yeah.
20 to 49%. SMU, Ole Miss, Iowa State. Then you got your Army, LSU, and A&M. And then 20%, 5 to 20%. You got your Colorados, Pittsburgh, Missouri, Clemson still hanging around, Tulane, UNLV, Washington State, Kansas State, teams like that. So,
and don't forget, birds, that I know, and y'all can laugh. Hey, hit the comments and put the laughy face on there. Matt, Big Matt, he's stupid. Texas still got to play A&M. And well, you just think whatever. Dan Elko's a good coach, so y'all, y'all think whatever you want to, but
29% chance to get in. But
So they're talking about if Ole Miss wins out, then they're in, and that would
well, who did
So then you start taking out
Indiana?
it's really uncomfortable really quick.
All right, Birds. Let's see. Let's look at this for a second.
Yeah.
Now let's remember this, guys. Since we're predicting the future, I'm gonna go in the future. Get the old crystal ball out here, Birds. Guess who Indiana plays in 2 weeks?
Ohio State.
Yeah, and then guess who they play the next week after that? They play Purdue. And I know Purdue's not good, but
Spoiler.
number 9. Well, I don't, but I mean number 9. There's what I'm saying. What we're looking at right here. 1's gonna play 5, and 9's gonna play 5, right? And 8's gonna play 2.
Yeah.
So,
And six is going to play 14, which is just right out of the top 12.
And if we're going to talk about conference stuff, well, Miami's got to play Clemson.
Not necessarily. Right now, Miami will play SMU in the ACC title game.
Okay. And that ain't a guarantee. What are they going to do if they dump that one?
Yeah. If they dump that one, you're probably going to have SMU and Miami in the playoffs.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
Because Miami would be undefeated at that point. That would be interesting. And then that's going to kick this last, say, Alabama or whoever the 11 seed is out, because Boise wins their conference. They're in at 12. The 11 seed would be kicked out.
And Boise's got nobody.
Yep.
They got Nevada, San Jose, Wyoming, and Oregon State. They should win all those.
And right now, Boise is actually ranked 12. So that's kind of doing them a favor, because if Boise State moves up, say Indiana loses, Boise State's going to assume a higher ranking. If Boise State was ranked 24 and they won, and they could actually steal a spot, they would take that spot away. Right now, with them actually being at 12, they're in their own spot instead of somebody else's. Does that make sense to you?
Yep. There's still other stuff that's got to happen, because these teams we just went through, these teams still have to play each other.
I mean, we're going to come back next week, and it's going to be shuffled.
Yeah.
Especially 2 weeks from now, it'll be definitely different.
I'm trying to find.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, if these teams went out, their number jumps pretty high. Right.
Right now, they give Colorado a 14% chance of making the playoffs, which is very interesting.
Oh, darn it.
LSU and A&M are only sitting at 20%, with Ole Miss a 29% chance. Army sitting at 20%.
Someone I might say it's just bad. That's all it is. And you have all of these things. By the way.
All right, check this out, Burge.
All right.
BYU's got, of course, they're at Utah, and I think they can win that game. They play this weekend. They play late, ESPN, 9 o'clock. They got Kansas at Arizona State and then Houston. Now, Houston is 4-5 right now, 3-3 in the conference. And they are currently in the middle of the pack right here in BYU conference, the Big 12. It's BYU, Iowa State, Colorado, K-State. So let's see here. Colorado's got Texas Tech, Utah, Kansas, Oklahoma State, and we talked about that Sunday. I think they could probably win 3 of those last ones. So Colorado could win 8 games this year. Now they'll get a good bowl, but they're not going to win the conference because, well, they ain't played Iowa State, and they're not going to get a shot to play them. Iowa State's got Kansas, Cincinnati, Utah, and Kansas State. And then they'll play, I guess they'll play BYU for the Big 12.
Kansas State, or you said Iowa State, that's one of those teams that could to win out and make it in there.
Oh, man, this is cake. I wish it'd be nice if Georgia Bama got to play Utah, Kansas, Arizona State, freaking Houston, man. Come on, guys. Y'all quit with all that crap. Well, we played 9 conference games. Yeah, but the other ones y'all play, you got like one team that's good. Bro, just come out here and play LSU and South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, LSU, Bama. Hell, the way Florida's been playing, I think they could probably beat some of these jackwagons. You think Florida could beat Colorado?
Think it would be a good game.
I mean, if we're going to put bad on bad,
not with the dude from Harvard or Yale or wherever, but
yeah,
Lagway for sure. I think so. Yeah.
If you match team record for record, Florida's going to roll in here and play somebody like Houston or TCU or UCF.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? So this comparison with
way better than Colorado's good. Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting as it goes to see who knocks each other out and all that. So, but the original, I go back over it. I know you see the 12-team bracket up here. Army's an M25 team, followed by Missouri at 24, Clemson at 23, Louisville at 22, Washington State at 21, Colorado at 20, Kansas State at 19, Pittsburgh at 18, Iowa State at 17, Ole Miss at 16, LSU at 15, Texas A&M, second team out at 14, SMU, the first team out at 13, Boise State at 12, Alabama at 11, Notre Dame at 10, BYU at 9, Indiana at 8, Tennessee at 7, Penn State at 6, Texas at 5, Miami at 4, Georgia at 3, Ohio State at 2, which I kind of expected to happen, and Oregon at 1, which it really doesn't matter because, you know, like we said, Ohio State's got a couple big games left against Indiana, and then, you know, they'll have to play in their conference championship. That'll be against Oregon again, right?
Yeah. I mean, you know, we all know it's hard to beat a team twice.
Yeah. And then, you know, obviously Georgia's got their next 2 weeks. They got, you know, rubber meets the road there. So
who's going to play for the SEC then before we get off here? Who we think's going?
Oh boy. I don't know. Who you got? I'm thinking of the standings. There are 5 one-loss teams currently, right?
Let's see here. SEC.
Four seed, but only number 9 rankings might get to be.
Well, right now, if they lined it up and played it today, it'd be Georgia played A&M.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at here in the standings. Tennessee still there with 1 loss. LSU 1 loss.
But
Texas
Georgia's got
1 loss.
to play Tennessee, and A&M's got to play Texas.
Yep. And Ole Miss has got Georgia as well. So,
And LSU Bama play this weekend.
so maybe Georgia wins. Maybe the Georgia Ole Miss winner versus Alabama LSU winner, or maybe
Yeah.
Texas plays A&M. That's about their only game left. Correct.
Yeah, that would put that'd make by that time, I guess, with Texas' schedule, that'd put them at what, 11-1.
Yeah. Yeah, I think honestly Texas probably got the best shot at facing whoever else makes it, whether it be Georgia.
Well, if they win out, it'd have to be Texas and Georgia.
Yeah.
Well, what about Tennessee? Hell, they're 7-1 too.
If Tennessee beats Georgia, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So it could be. And
you still got A&M. If A&M beats Texas, A&M's right there.
And I don't think it'd be crazy. I'm just telling you, man. These rival games are. It's different. Georgia, Florida, and Alabama, Auburn, and I've said it here on the show. Again, we on Sunday night at 6:00 Central. It wouldn't floor me if Auburn beat Alabama, and I know Alabama fans are just going to come. I've done got harassed for it, but Auburn's defense is not bad, guys. Y'all got to. I mean, you got to pay attention. You got to see it as a whole. I know some of the development of the players. Some of the guys ain't running good routes. Some of the linemen ain't making the right blocks, and I can pick it. I can pick Georgia. I've picked Bama apart. I've got on Alabama's right tackle and Pritchett and Booker on the other side over there. But what I'm saying, these rival games, man, you don't know. Especially those 4 teams, the highest ranked rivals to me. And I know we live down here. Georgia and Auburn used to be a good game, but it hadn't been in, I don't know, probably 10, 12 years. But Bama and Auburn and Georgia, Florida, and I know Florida ain't been great, but they'd give Georgia all they want. If DJ didn't get hurt, I don't know what might have happened.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
They're just talking about Indiana here. They're saying if Indiana doesn't beat Ohio State, then they're with their strength of schedule being 103. That's the only thing that's going to help them.
Yeah. Now, player-wise,
how high they'd be.
Player-wise, they don't match up. But I mean, heck, who does match up with Ohio State? I mean, really nobody. Now if they had another second on the clock up there, which I think they should have got at the Oregon game, because he did slide that, but that's for we done beat that old horse. They're gonna play again.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be in their championship game, and it's gonna be for a bye, for a first round bye.
Do you see any way since I've been, I'm on here bashing Alabama, I'm telling them they may lose to Auburn this year, and they're like, they've won 1 conference game, you fool. Is there any way Bama makes it to Atlanta to play for SEC title? I mean, winning out, I don't know even if they win out. I don't, because I think the only way that something like that can happen would be Tennessee would have to beat Georgia. Alabama would need other help. Tennessee's got to beat Georgia to give Georgia that two loss. And then Bama could say, well, we beat Georgia, but Tennessee would say, well, we'll beat y'all, But then you would have to hope that A&M would lose. They'd have to get beat by Texas, but then that would give Texas 1 loss. So then they're in.
So you need Tennessee. You need Tennessee to have more than 2 losses. Well, you also need Tennessee to beat Georgia. I mean, I don't know.
Ain't no way. I don't think there's a way for it to happen.
There's got to be some way.
Well, I'll tell you honestly, just I mean, for everybody watching, hey, I mean, Bama just shit the bed. They shouldn't have lost to Vanderbilt. That cost them. That's it. I mean, you can lose to Tennessee, but when you lose to a low ranking team like that's down there in the middle, because Vanderbilt's kind of right there in the middle on the SEC rankings. They've got 3 losses, and one of their wins, a 3-loss team has a win against Bama. That just don't look good. And it don't matter even who it is. You could just put scratch out there. Just look at the records. It'd have to be a couple other teams. I mean, Texas, they would have to lose to like A&M and who they got left. Seemed like they had somebody else left on here. Don't Texas usually play? Let me back out over here and look. Let's see who they got left.
For over 70 years, Indiana has been translating a lot of people who must
Who's on their roster?
I know they play Arkansas. Okay, that's right. So they got Florida, Arkansas, Kentucky, A&M. Texas would have to just have a complete come apart pretty much and lose 2 of these. They got to lose to who's even got a chance to beat them. Maybe Arkansas. They play at 11 o'clock on the 16th on ABC, and they play A&M the 30th. I don't think Texas loses at home to Kentucky, and I don't think Florida does without DJ. If DJ played this weekend, I think they probably got a shooter's chance. I just don't see a way. I'm trying to figure out a way for Bama. For Bama fans, I'm trying to figure out a way for y'all to get in. I don't see it.
Alabama would have to beat LSU. Ole Miss would have to beat Georgia. Georgia would have to beat Tennessee. Tennessee to have to gain another loss.
Yeah.
South Carolina would need to beat Vanderbilt. Texas and A&M would be the only ones with 1 loss, and then the loser of that would be a 2-loss team. Alabama beats Oklahoma on the road to stay afloat week 13.
You'd have to hope Vandy. The biggest wrench in the whole up and fire would have to be that last week. Vandy would have to beat. Tennessee's got to go to Vandy. That would be it.
Vanderbilt would have to upset Tennessee in Nashville, and that would put Alabama in.
Yeah, they would have to have some. I don't. There's too many other things. Now, could it happen? Yes, the kind of year we've had. Yeah, probably. I mean, I ain't gonna say it can't happen. I mean, god darn. I mean, dude, it's been wild. It's a very, very unlikely chance for Bama to even get a chance to play at the end of the season to be the second team ranked. Because they're just going 1 and 2 is going to play. There would have to be a lot of those other teams ahead of them, and it's A&M's and Texas and Georgia. They would have a head-to-head over them, but they'd have to hope, like you said, that Georgia's going to have to lose another game or 2. If you just had some kind of complete chaos, like Tech beats Georgia at the end of the year and Vandy beats Tennessee, if something crazy like that happens,
it's going to have to be wild.
I don't see it happening. I mean, honestly, I don't think they deserve it. They just hadn't played like a real team this year. They're still figuring out a new coach. The coach is still figuring out the players. And it just is what it is. Now another year or 2, in 2 years, maybe next year, I think they'll have the same kind of record. I think they can win 9 or 10 games, but they should be able. DeBoer should have them playing for the SEC title. I'm going to give him until 26. They ought to, because he's got a good recruiting class coming next year. Then when those guys get a little more developed, get a little bit more meat under them, the guys that are playing now will have 2 years on him, and the guys that are coming will have a year. You know what I'm saying? So, but this year, I don't see a way. I don't see no way Bama to play for the SEC. They'll be lucky in that bar, that graph you put up there. They'll be lucky. I don't even know if they can beat LSU Saturday. I mean, I don't know why we even talking about them playing for because they'd have to play Georgia again. I mean, if it kind of shook out that way, and it's just hard to beat somebody twice. Kirby's been doing this a long time, and DeBoer has too. I know he's got a good record, whatever. But we've seen what's held Georgia in these football games, and it's Kirby's defense. What's their defensive coach, Schumann?
Yeah.
He probably just kind of does whatever Kirby wants to do. He's probably just kind of helps him.
You and I are seeing teams.
Nick Sheridan's struggling this year with Milroe. He's trying to figure out what he can do with the guy. So I don't see Bama making an SEC title game, guys. Sorry, I just don't. I don't see it happening. There's too many outside factors have to happen.
Last year they won the championship game without Brett Gavin. Missed the final 6 games of the regular season with that gruesome leg injury.
You see how salty Jeff is, Birds? Look how salty he is. They got one of the best bought teams in college football. He's still salty. He hates Ryan Day. He just hates him.
November midweek match teams to really separate themselves with some team at the top. This is a big night for right now. Benton Will helped Ball State separate a little bit in the last few weeks. Tanner Colts, you'll move it to the left ends in America. He has a watch this guy play these games.
Oh boy. Well, it's about time for a little action there. We got Ball State, Miami coming up. A couple 500 squads.
Yeah, Miami, Ohio.
Yeah, Miami, Ohio.
Hurricanes.
It looks like it's coming a rainstorm there, actually.
Yeah, I need to look in more into that and see what time Saturday is. Have you got a time period for Saturday? It looks like to you, or
let's see here. What I was looking at earlier looked like day and night. Now let's see here. Let me go back to Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge.
Jeff, you got to quit being so salty. You love Ryan Day. Stop trying to drown the guy now. He's been a good coach for y'all. I mean, just because he can't win that. It's hard to win that title. I know Nick Saban's run college football, period. Has he not, Birds? He's run it.
All right. Well, I mean, he dominated it, so he's kind of hurt other people's chances. It says rain scattered thunderstorms throughout the afternoon. Chance of rain 60%. Rain showers in the evening. Evolve into more steady rain overnight. So it looks like rain. 11-mile-an-hour winds. That's not too bad.
That's the part that could really that could play a role in some of these games. The wind is the factor that if the ball gets soaking wet, that is a problem. But if it's raining sheets, it's going to push the ball down. If the wind's blowing hard, well, you already know what's going to happen. That could affect kicks. Kickers getting their foot placement, and in some of these games, it may come down to kicking game. Bama may need to kick a field goal, I think, to go up. I'm going to say they have to kick a field goal at halftime. They go up, 24-21 or, 17-14 against LSU. And
it looks like less favorable conditions in Oxford. Heavier rain, thunderstorm possible, 80% chance of rain.
Is it Hurricane Raphael? Is that right? One of the Ninja Turtles? Hurricane Raphael. Is that right? Chat section? Peanut Gallery?
Yeah.
Come on, Jeff. Bless you. Look how mad Jeff is. You see him on here? He's angry. Ohio State, I know coulda, woulda, shoulda, and they had that game won against Georgia. They had it laid out there. That was a great football game.
the last few plays, man, I don't understand. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Leading up to that field goal attempt,
Yeah.
that just blew my mind. I was like, what are they doing? I'm glad they're doing it, but what are they doing? It's crazy that on the stroke of midnight, he botched that kick.
Yes. Come on, you piece of junk. All right, when you gonna be back on, Birds?
We should be back on tomorrow. We're going to have our playoff special. We're going to talk about GHSA playoffs, prospective matchups, what we know is for sure, what's still. We got a makeup week this week because of the weather that we had. So we still have a week to go. Still got a few games that could change some seedings over here in the state of Georgia. So a lot of teams from our area going to be in the playoffs. So we're going to talk about all those tomorrow, 7:00 Eastern.
Tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
I'll be on. I'll be on Thursday night, probably about 5 Central Time, and I'm gonna do kind of the same stuff over here for Alabama playoffs. I've heard that I've seen on pages around that I don't know about y'all, and you could tell me this. They're already looking at moving some games to Thursday. Are y'all seeing that in South Georgia? Because South Alabama games, there's some playoff games because we're starting playoffs this weekend, and they're talking about moving some games to Thursday.
I haven't seen it yet, but because of the amount of referees, it's possible. Or lack of referees.
Yeah, I need to track this. Is it going to come right in the Gulf of Mexico, right up on Panama area, Pensacola? Is it coming right up in there? Or?
I really don't
hadn't
know.
even looked. Let me look at that. I hadn't even looked.
It just looked like it's headed toward Louisiana.
Okay, so it's going to kind of taper west right now.
It says Gulf is
Okay.
all certain.
Yeah, Hurricane Raphael. We'll get Donatello. We'll get Michelangelo. Huh?
They can slow it down a little bit. Get the rat out there. What's the rat's name?
Shredder. No, that's the ninja. Splinter. No, wait a minute.
You're right.
Yeah. Splinter.
Yeah.
Splinter's the rat. Shredder's the ninja. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right too, Jeff. I think 6 teams. Yeah, I know Central's in it. Carrollton's probably the favorite in that division they play. It says Sunday p.m. is when it makes landfall into New Orleans / Houston / maybe even all the way to Panama. It just depends on which direction it wants to go.
Okay, I got it pulled up here now. Yeah, Sunday midnight till Monday morning.
Yeah.
Well, that there's old Baton Rouge. It's definitely gonna affect the Bama game.
Yep.
And Georgia's at Ole Miss, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it may not be as bad up there, but it could be it'll be a mess. I don't know. Who does the rain help more, Birds? LSU or Bama? I mean, it would help a running team better, you would think. And with Alabama having, 2 solid running backs, you think it would help them more, right?
Yeah. I mean, you would think so.
So the voodoo that LSU cursed, they put some voodoo out there, and that's going to maybe hurt them.
His defensive coordinator, Bill Bracken, believes he is an NFL talent. And Ball State mentioned him as somebody they are concerned with.
Ball State.
Interesting. I won't tell you what I'm looking at because you said we wasn't going to talk about it.
I don't even. Yeah. Well, I don't care what them polls say. Half them things are paid off.
Well, I'm actually looking at the results page that has, like electoral votes.
Actually, like, who's in right now? That's what I'm watching. Road to 270.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's way ahead.
Right now.
Way ahead.
Yeah.
Yep. We're glad y'all come by and hung out with us, Birds. I'm glad you jumped in here with me, son.
Yeah.
Enjoy the rest of your night. And I'll say this about everything that's going on outside of sports. The sun's probably going to rise in the morning as long as the good Lord sees fit and he don't call his son to come back to claim us. And other than that, everything else going to be all right.
All right, sir.
And if he does come back to claim us in the middle of the night, just hope you got on a clean pair of underwear.
Draw the claim.
It's so crazy because they're just looking for skilled players.
3-0. Jeff Anderson's calling it. Bama over LSU.
I guarantee you, it ain't gonna be 3-0. I don't care what kind of score it is.
I was 2 in 1979, Jeff. Just a young man. Very young lad living up here in the northeast corner of Alabama. I think in 79, I think we were living in Rainsville. I think. He was
All
there.
right. I'm gonna
Birds. Yeah.
see you
Yeah.
next
Good
time.
luck tomorrow night. Y'all have a good show tomorrow, and I'll be on Thursday. We'll do some high school football, Alabama, and maybe be some more news on games. They may be playing that night. So y'all stay tuned and
sure
come over
that,
the page.
I'm sure we'll talk and we'll do this again with the ranking.
Yeah, every week when they change it up, we'll jump on here on Tuesday night and we'll get her done. Y'all come hang out with me Sunday night. Locker Room Sports Talk. Y'all have a good night. Enjoy. See you, bro.
See you.